Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Soranandana Pratijana Ranjana Jasodanandana Pratijana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Punjabi Hari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivanodari Sodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jamistapad Paramahansa Prabhujakacharya Asatir Sadashishimad. His Divine Grace to the A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Kota Vaishnavamani ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this morning we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 27, text number 30. Prajvaro Yamama Bharata Tvam Tame Bhagini Bhava Taram Yubhad Yang Lokesmin Hainika Prajvaro Yamama Bharata Tvam chame bhagini bhava Taram yubhad yang lokesmin Bhavyakto bhima sainakaha Prajharo yung mama bhrata Tvam chame bhagini bhava Taram yubhad yang lokesmin Avyakto bhima sainakaha Rajvarayam mama brata Cham tame bhagini bhava Lam yubhavyam lokesmin Name Bhagini Bhava Dharam Yav Yav Yam Lokesmin Vajharayam Mahabrata Tam Chame Bhagini Bhava Dharam Yabhavyam Lokesmin Avyakto Bhimasainika. Prajvara, named Prajvara. Ayam, this. Mama, my. Brata, brother. Tvam, you. Cha, also. Me, my. Bhagini, sister. Bhava, become. Charami, I shall go about. Ubhabhyam, by both of you. Loke, in the world. Asmin, this. Avyakta, without being manifest. Bhima, dangerous. Sainika, with soldiers. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The king of the Yavanas continued, Here is my brother Prajvara. I now accept you as my sister. I shall employ both of you, as well as my dangerous soldiers, to act imperceptibly within this world. Purport. Kalakanya was sent by Narada Muni to Yavanaraj so that she might become his wife. But instead of accepting her as his wife, Yavanaraj accepted her as a sister. Those who do not follow the Vedic principles are unrestricted as far as sex life is concerned. Consequently, they sometimes do not hesitate to have sex with their sisters. In this age of Kali, there are many instances of such incest. Although Yavanaraj accepted the request of Narada Muni to show respect to him, he was nonetheless thinking of illicit sex. So much for his being a devotee. This was due to his being the king of the Yavanas and Malechas. The words Prajvara is very significant, for it means the fever sent by Lord Vishnu. Such a fever is always set at 107 degrees, the temperature at which a man dies. Thus the king of the Mlechas and Yavanas requested the daughter of time, Kala Kanya, to become his sister. There was no need to ask her to become his wife, for the Yavanas and Mlechas do not make distinctions as far as sex life is concerned. Thus one may outwardly be a sister, mother, or daughter and still have sex. Yavanaraj's brother was Prajvara, and Kalakanya was invalidity itself, combined and strengthened by the soldiers of Yavanaraj, namely non-hygienic conditions, illicit sex, and ultimately a high degree of temperature to bring on death. So these are his soldiers. they would be able to smash the materialistic way of life. In this connection, it is significant that Narada was immune to the attack of Jara, or invalidity, and similarly Jara, or the destructive force, cannot attack any follower of Narada Muni or a pure Vaishnava. Thus end the Bhaktivinoda purport of the 4th canto, 27th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Attack of Chandavega on the city of King Puranjana, the character of Kalakanya. Om Jnanatamarandasya Kiranjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Ukram Kotavachalang Pangunang Hayate Gurim Yat Kripa Taraham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Vanchakapachivyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Bhavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is the second time I got in a verse like this. So, Yavanaraj, he didn't want to accept her as a wife, so thought, well, she would be my sister. And still he was thinking that he would enjoy with her. So this is pretty low class. Srila Prabhupada, he told of a story that he knew of in India, where a man was trying to arrange the marriage for his daughter. And his son came to him and said, actually, Father, it's not necessary. I'll take care of her. She'll be my wife. You can imagine. The father is shocked, yeah. So this is going on, even in our holy land, Bharatvarsh, India, all over the world. Even Lord Brahma, he had this inclination after his daughter. And Prabhupada said that that's not the Lord Brahma of this universe. There's many Lord Brahmas. So not the one that chanted the Brahma Samhita. It's another Lord Brahma. So there's gold and there's iron. Yeah. So iron is compared to lust, and gold is compared to love. But then there's another one. There's rusty iron, which is even worse than iron. So this incest and rape and things like this. This is really bad. This is rusty iron. It's horrible, horrible. And people can't imagine the reactions they get for such sinful activity. So practically everyone in this world is has this fever of lust. 107 degrees, out of the ballpark, as they say. Terrible disease, this lust. And Krishna says it's the worst enemy. The greatest enemy of the living entity is this lust. But people think that they have this desire, and this is me. This is what I want. But no, it's not. It's not what we want. We want to serve Krishna. The soul wants to serve Krishna. But the contaminated mind, the contaminated intelligence, has this illusion, stuck in this illusion that this will satisfy me. But no. There was 4 devotees that decided they didn't want to experience this disease the 4 Kumaras. So they decided they didn't want to get older than 5 years old. So they didn't have to experience it. Pretty smart. So great sages traveling around the universe preaching, little naked boys, preaching the message of the absolute truth. Never experienced the lust. Just like some of us, we were growing up and, you see a girl, you see a boy, it's all the same, right? But once you get a certain age, I don't know, maybe 7, 8, maybe sometimes even earlier, the girls start looking pretty good. So they get hit by a truck, like this lust is just like overwhelming. But it's an illusion. It's due to the bodily conception of life. We're not men, we're not women. We're souls stuck in these material bodies. And when one can come to that realization, then the lust is pretty much history. Of course, it's a gradual process, but it works. And we're taking the medicine by which we can get free of this disease. It's like a doctor is treating a patient, and the doctor, he gives the patient some medicine to help cure the disease, and he tells him what not to do. Don't eat this, don't eat that. There's the do's and there's the don'ts. So we get so much nice information about the do's and the don'ts so that we can become healthy. So that we can become healthy again. And Lord Chaitanya, he said, or actually in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's prayer, expressing Lord Chaitanya, Jeev Jago, Gora Chandra Bole. That wake up, sleeping souls. How long are you going to sleep on the lap of the witch Maya? You have forgotten the path of devotional service and are lost in the world of birth and death. Other than myself, you have no friend. I've come to give you the medicine which can cure the disease of material attachment and become free of this suffering. Take this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by which we can become free of this disease. It's not easy. It's a big challenge. It's like they have there's the Great Wall of China. One of the wonders of the world, right? But there's the Great Wall of Maya. Very difficult to cross over. Therefore Krishna says, Daivi Hesa Gana Maya, Mama Maya Draya. That this divine energy of mine, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is very difficult to overcome. But one who surrenders unto me can very easily cross beyond it. So this is the key. This is how to cross over this great wall of Maya. We got to surrender to Krishna. And when we do, then we'll experience happiness. Just like the diseased person, he takes the medicine and he doesn't do things that increase the disease, and eventually he becomes healthy. Similarly, if we do all these things, chanting Hare Krishna, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, associating with the devotees, engaging in devotional service, then eventually we become healthy. We become very healthy, eventually, hopefully, to the point where we just want to serve Krishna. Our only interest is in pleasing Krishna. This is the goal. And it's like there was one devotee, Daruka, the servant of Krishna. He would be fanning Krishna And while he was fanning Krishna, he would be experiencing ecstatic symptoms. But he cursed these ecstatic symptoms because they were interfering with his service to Krishna. Now that's devotion. Some of us want to experience, I'd like to experience those ecstatic symptoms, shivering in the body, tears flowing from the eye, hair standing on it. It'd be pretty cool, right? I mean, nice to have those ecstatic symptoms. But Daruka, his only interest was in pleasing Krishna. Didn't want this ecstasy. Yeah. Just wanted to please Krishna. This was his happiness in serving Krishna, pleasing Krishna. So this is real healthy. And this is the way the devotees live in the spiritual world. They're very healthy. Everyone is just absorbed in trying to please Krishna. In this diseased world, everyone's just absorbed in how to please their mind and senses. Yeah. And therefore, as Lord Chaitanya said, they're suffering. But this is the way to become free. This is the way to become free of this suffering. People are interested in freedom. All over the world, people want to be free. And Krishna gives free will. You do what you want. But sometimes people misuse the free will. They choose to do the wrong thing. For instance, sometimes people choose, with their free will, to take addictive drugs, heroin, or crack, or something. And by misusing their free will, they become addicted to these drugs to the point where they can't choose to stop these things. Or even cigarettes. They're very addictive. So Krishna gives the free will to do as you like. But if they do the wrong thing, then they lose their free will. They can't choose to stop. Of course some do, but many of them can't do it. Overwhelming addiction. So we want to utilize our free will properly and serve Krishna and become addicted to serving Krishna. That's the goal. Become addicted to pleasing Krishna. That's real healthy. Like the devotees in the spiritual world. It's like Radharani. She was such a great devotee of Krishna. And sometimes Krishna would lament that he doesn't have the association of Srimati Radharani. He's attached to Radharani. And the other gopis, they weren't envious. They would make arrangements for Krishna to come together with Radharani. There's no envy in the spiritual world. They just wanted to please Krishna. Yeah. And Krishna is most pleased with this informal service. Yeah. Of course, the formal service is nice. That's in Vaikuntha. They're worshipping Vishnu, and it's devotional service. But Krishna, he likes to play. He's a playful God. So, just like we have this wonderful pastime here, Radha Damodar. So Krishna, he was displeased because Mother Yasoda, she stopped feeding him to tend to the milk. So he got upset and he broke the pot of yogurt and he ran away, seeing his mother was coming. So she came to chastise him. She had a stick. And Krishna became fearful. He feigned the fear. And she thought, I don't want to I don't want him to be afraid of me. And she caught him. And she started calling him different names. Even nonsense rascal. You breaking the yogurt, you Dinavanara, friend of the monkeys. Stealing the yogurt and butter and you're feeding it to the monkeys. You're like a monkey. And Krishna said, "Oh, really? Yeah. You think I'm like I'm going to go live with the monkeys. I'm going to go to the forest. I'm going to live with the monkeys." So this is why she tied him up, because she became a little fearful. He might run away. He's so restless. He might just run away in the forest and live with the monkeys. Anybody here run away from home when you were young? Anybody else? A few. I was about 13. I ran away with a friend of mine for like 3 days. We just went off into the forest. Yeah. So Krishna also. They do that in India too. They don't do that. It's not such a thing. In America, kids, they run away from home. It's like one of the pastimes. So Krishna also, I guess he comes from Krishna. So she was afraid he was going to run away. So she decided to tie him up. But she couldn't do it. Not enough rope. Now sometimes we hear 2 inches and sometimes we hear 2 fingers. But I don't think there was any such thing as inches back then. 2 fingers. I think it's 2 fingers. So she kept on getting more and more rope, getting rope from the other ladies, and she couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. But Krishna, upon seeing her determination, and Krishna being very merciful, he allowed her to tie him up. So this is the mercy of Krishna. Krishna can be tied up only by love. Yeah. So this is what we're trying to develop, this love for Krishna. Yeah. And it'll come. Actually, it's already here. We're just trying to remove. We're trying to remove all the garbage. Yeah. Just like when someone buys a building, a used building, they say we're gonna gut the building. We're gonna take everything out of the building, so all that's left practically is the walls, the frame. Just gut the building. So that's what we want to do. We want to gut, or just get all the garbage out, all the lust and greed and anger and envy, all this nonsense, and fill it with Krishna. And Prabhupada said this is the Bhakti Yoga process, to forget all the nonsense that is accumulated through not only this life but other lives, and to remember Krishna. So this is the goal, to just get absorbed in Krishna. There's one, it's like Krishna, he liked to play a lot, actually. I was just reading recently in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It's described that he would tell hundreds of jokes, and the cowherd boys would always be laughing. Kautuki, he's known as Kautuki, means he has the best sense of humor. He must be so funny, because there's people in this world that are really funny, but where do they get their ideas from? Krishna. So Krishna must be very funny. So it's something to look forward to, laughing a lot. Everybody likes to laugh, so that's something to look forward to. So Krishna was there in Vrindavan, and he was there with the gopis, and he told the gopis, watch this. He saw Abhimanyu coming down the walkway, so he changed into Abhimanyu, and he went to Jatila, the mother of Abhimanyu, and said, Mata, Krishna's coming, disguised like me. He's going to try to play a joke on you. He's going to make fun. So I just want to let you know. So she said, oh yeah? Oh, I'm going to get that guy. So she sees Abhimanyu coming. She's got her broom. and she's beating him. I know you're Krishna, you rascal. You're trying to play jokes on me. You're not my son, you rascal. You Krishna. And she's beating him. No. He's like, no, Mata. I'm not Krishna. I'm Abhimanyu. So don't beat me. No, I know you're Krishna, you rascal. Get away from here, you nonsense. Beating him. And all the gopis, they're laughing. Krishna also. So Krishna's got a wonderful sense of humor. And one of his dear friends, what's his name? The Brahmin? Madhumangala. He told Krishna, he saw that Krishna had some sweets. He said, Krishna, if you give me your sweets, I'll make all arrangements for you to get back with Radharani. So Krishna said, all right, here, take. So, this is the spiritual world. Chintamani pakara sadma sukapa viksa lakshavatesa surviravipalayant. The spiritual world is so nice. Yeah? You can get whatever you want. Yeah? There's these gems that you can just whatever you desire you can get. Just having these gems. And there's Kalpavriksha trees, whatever you want. Just like if you want Malpur, you can get Malpur from the Kalpavriksha trees. And then there's Surbi cows. You can get samosas from the Surbi cows. You get whatever you want. Whatever you want. Of course, in the spiritual world, everybody just wants to serve Krishna. Of course, also everything there is prasadam. So, Chintamani Pakarasartma Sakalpa Laksavartesu, and he's being served by so many gopis, goddesses of fortune. Laksavartesu Suravir Abhipalayantam. And as Prabhupada, he says in one purport, in the spiritual world, everything sees. Everything talks, everything moves, everything is animate. There's no dead matter in the spiritual world. It's like when Krishna, he plays the flute, the river stops. The animate things stop moving. And the inanimate things, they move. The stones, they start moving. They're melting. They're also persons. Everything is alive. The rivers can hear. They can speak. Everything is animate. And everyone is Krishna conscious. Completely Krishna conscious. So it's a beautiful place. High-class neighborhood. And I was just reading yesterday, I'd like to share this with you. One purport Prabhupada says, the more we cleanse the dirt of material attachment from our hearts, the more we will be attracted by Krishna's name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and activities. This is the sum and substance of the Krishna consciousness movement. This is the sum and substance of it. So we have to, the goal is to get cleansed of all this material attachment and become attracted to the varieties of Krishna's personality. So, on that note, is there any question or comment? Well, what did I mean by everything is prasadam? Well, everything is the mercy of Krishna. Prasadam means the mercy of Krishna. So, actually in Vrindavan, Prabhupada said you don't have to offer food. It's prasadam. in Vrindavan. Do you know that? Yeah, Prabhupada said that. Because it's there in the Dham. I didn't know that all. I heard that just about a year ago. The devotee told Prabhupada that in the Dham, it's prasadam. It's all the mercy of Krishna. So then the question is. No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Well, I kind of jokingly said, how do you cook for Krishna then? Because you can't cook prasadam for Krishna.
Because you got Radha Syama Sundar there in Vrindavan, in our temple, Hare Krishna. Go ahead.
But I was also wondering, I guess, would a devotee, because a devotee wants to have as much service as possible, and it wants to see things that one can use to serve Krishna, so I guess, would a devotee be seeing things like that? Like all the food stuff?
Well, also in the spiritual world, it's described that the goddesses of fortune, they're cleaning. There's no dirt.
Right.
There's no dirt. So it's just a seva. It's already prasadam, but they're cooking, to please Krishna. It's a service, they're just trying to please Krishna, but it's the Dham. It's Krishna Loka. It's already prasadam. It's already the mercy of Krishna.
Because I was thinking for someone who's kind of like, who's like, I don't know, lusty, you could say, after eating nice things, it could just be a relief. Oh, what a relief. Everything's already prasadam. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to offer it. Whew, it takes one step out of the way.
You don't have to worry about offending because it's not offered yet.
So like materialistically, I might be, what a relief. Everything's already offered in Vrindavan. I'll just go there. But, so you're saying that a devotee would know that everything's already the mercy of Krishna, already, it being there in Vrindavan is already offered to Krishna in Vrindavan. But you're relating it to that sweeping when there's no dirt would still be trying to utilize as much of that, would knowingly or unknowingly be using all that prasadam for the service of Krishna by offering it. I was wondering, are people conscious of that, consciously thinking that? My question's probably not so clear. Yeah.
Well, I've been practicing Krishna consciousness for 41 years, and 42 years, and just last year I found out that everything in Vrindavan is prasadam. So maybe, I don't know, maybe some of them don't know. You mean when you're in your room and you get something and you just, should I offer it or? Oh, no, it's already prasadam. Yeah. Cooking also? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
The perspective that everything is prasadam is in the realm of tattva. That's the truth of the matter. Mm-hmm. But their reciprocation with Krishna is in rasa. They're not thinking philosophically. They're simply motivated by love for Krishna. So they're not going to look for shortcuts or, this is offered, I don't have to do that. I can just enjoy it. There's none of that mentality. Everything is about service. So, of course, they're going to cook every opportunity they can. And
as though it's not offered, right?
Yeah, and something I read a few days ago, so Radharani, she cooks for Krishna in the afternoon also, and the gopis will take it there and it gets offered to Krishna for his dinner. And in this particular pastime, she isn't in the palace of Nanda Maharaj. She's not there. And so Mother Yasoda is so happy her son was pleased with the nice foodstuffs, and she asked the maidservants of Radharani who had brought the food, please sit down and offer his remnants, or honor his remnants. And they said, no, we can't honor until Srimati Radharani honors. Oh. So Mother Yasoda was very pleased with their love for Srimati Radharani. He said, no, here, let's package it all up then and take it to her and honor with her. So in the same way, it's all for Krishna or all for Radha. That's the whole...
It's all about a service attitude. Yeah. And it's described that Radharani also, she's eternally cooking for Krishna. She's never made the same thing twice.
She has the blessing from Durvasa Muni that her food would be the most relishable, most tasty, and
help him live a long life.
Yeah, protective and nourishing.
Yeah. Yes, Ravi.
Prabhuji, on that technical note, when Krishna comes to this material world, right? So he comes to Vrindavan, Goloka, we have here. So Gokul, yes. So then that entire place becomes spiritual, right?
Spiritual world, yes.
Yeah, it becomes spiritual world.
Yeah.
But then when he leaves, is it still the same
Still
as
the
he was
spiritual
there?
world, yeah.
In all sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Technical.
Well, you had the relative and you had the spiritual, which Srila Prabhupada says 168 square miles for the Vraj as we can see it, but the Dham, any particular aspect of it has the spiritual potency because it's the Shakti of Krishna, the energy of Krishna to expand unlimitedly. So, or contract, just the same. Like you wonder, how did they cover all this ground, so quickly, and all these pastimes through all the forest through the day, where we go on Parikram, it takes forever, because it can expand or contract, as Krishna pleases. The Dham will serve Krishna according to his needs.
So even right now the pastimes are still going on at Vrindavan? Or so I heard some, but
As
I'm
far
not
as I know, yes. And
they are
yeah, they're unmanifest pastimes. Yeah. Nityasiddha, Krishna Prema, SanDiego, and there are eternal pastimes going on. Yeah. Yes. Ooh.
I'm sorry for getting hung up on this. But I wanted to still clarify. So, the point is that everything is prasadam in Vrindavan. And then, Prabhu, you mentioned, okay, there's rasa,
He likes
there's
that.
tattva. No, I've been wondering about this for a while now. So, see, I want to know because, see, one, you said, okay, in terms of rasa, aren't really seeing it like that. What's offered, what's not offered, what don't I have to offer in that sense. But in terms of tattva, it's true that everything in Vrindavan is prasadam. Now, in one sense, everything anywhere is prasadam. Even in America, everything's prasadam. Everything, the whole material world is like Krishna's mercy in a particular way. So, but in another sense, everything's prasadam in Vrindavan. I'm wondering if that's in a different sense, just like how in Mayapur, and I don't remember where this came from. I know you mentioned it, but you mentioned how in Mayapur, even sleeping is transcendental. It's like a kind of service. Of course, sleeping can be a service for anybody, if someone's pure. But in Mayapur, even sleeping is, a different category of sleeping. That it won't. And so the way I was understanding that was that even sleeping in Mayapur, you're in Mayapur, it's still being uplifted. It's not like degrading the way being unconscious anywhere else would be. And that might not be the case. But I'm wondering for prasadam, in the sense of everything in Vrindavan is prasadam, I'm wondering is everything in Vrindavan prasadam in the sense that any food you take, like any food you eat in Vrindavan is still uplifting because it's in Vrindavan, or it's not going to degrade you like unoffered food would elsewhere outside of Vrindavan. Because one devotee mentioned to me, and they were quoting one younger devotee, initiated, was quoting a disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who many would accept went back to Godhead, and he was kind of saying, offered, unoffered, and he quoted this devotee, whom he accepts, and many devotees accept, and it's not a bad point, that everything's Krishna's mercy. And the story was that this devotee was offering some fruit to some deities. Some said, that's already been offered. That's actually already prasadam. And he said, everything's prasadam. And that seems like it's a true point, although this devotee was using it in the sense that offering isn't so important, everything's already prasadam. And I know this particular devotee doesn't really offer his food, so... But he was quoting this devotee who lives in Vrindavan that so said everything's prasadam if you're thinking about it. So sorry for
No, that's good.
but I'm just it's not so clear to me.
There's a difference between here and Vrindavan, SanDiego and Vrindavan, other places outside of Vrindavan. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Patram Pusham, if someone offers me with love and devotion, they leave a flower, fruit, or water, I'll accept it. So he wouldn't say that if everything, you know, if he didn't want that, he wouldn't say it. So once it's offered to Krishna, then it becomes prasadam. Yeah. So yeah, there's a difference between Vrindavan and this world. You know, this United States, you know, Africa. You know, there's a difference. That's the dham. So it becomes prasadam when we offer it to Krishna. Otherwise, it's bhoga. It's my understanding. You all right? Go ahead.
It's a great class when you get discussions like this. Thank you so much. Well, it either is the Dham or it isn't, according to your consciousness. You're sitting in New York. I'm sitting in the lap of Krishna, Prabhupada said. Or Advaitacharya saying to Lord Chaitanya, wherever you are, that is Vrindavan. So if you have love for Krishna, you know, tomorrow's Gaura Das Babaji's disappearance day. We can make mention of, like, when he would get something, he'd just kind of wave his hand in the air and then honor it. He's a lover of Krishna. For him, everything he does, says, and thinks is simply an act to please Krishna. So he is offering to Krishna or remembering Krishna and accepting this as Krishna's mercy. So it's all a matter of consciousness. You have to be very careful. This pastime of we had yesterday or Sunday of Aristasura. It means giving up pure bhakti and taking shelter of a cheating religion. So if you're not on that highest platform, you're cheating yourself by thinking, I don't have to offer. Everything's mercy. It's prasad. Well, how do you get to this platform unless you've gone through the ladder of bhakti by offering everything? Everything. You know, we have to be very careful. Maybe he's on that platform, but I should be thinking I'm nowhere near that platform.
And a devotee never thinks that he's an advanced devotee.
Yeah.
So.
But, yeah.
Also the principle of just setting an example for others, you know, because after all, we are a preaching movement, so preaching means what's the best form of preaching? To set the example. Yeah. So someone may be on an advanced level where they could see everything as Krishna's mercy, and they may not have to follow, I mean, they follow obviously the basic, you know, tenets of the principles and all that, but they may not have to follow so many things. But for the sake of
being a good example,
yeah, they follow those things. Because if they don't follow, then everybody's going to follow them. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Whatever a great man does, come and follow. So just from that. But anyways, yeah, I was also thinking what you were saying too about, you know, the person, it's about the realization, you know, if they have that realization, but yeah, that's the trick. If they don't have that realization, maybe they're just hallucinating. They have that realization, you know, oh, everything's Krishna's mercy. You know, it's kind of like Uttamadhikari thing, and I'm so advanced. But okay, you know, fast forward, and you know, let's see how advanced you are. You know, are those people following basic things? And a lot of times they're not. You know, so that's what Prabhupada said in Sri Upanishad. Don't try to imitate the Uttamadhikari. You know, it's very dangerous. So, anyways.
Yeah, good point. The Prabhupada would cook, and he would offer it. He would offer it to Krishna. I mean, he could have just, you know, saw it as the, you know, mercy of Krishna Prasad already, but he would offer.
And interesting enough, the devotees that cooked for Srila Prabhupada, I heard them in L.A., most of them didn't offer what they cooked to Krishna because they were offering it to Srila Prabhupada, and they knew without any question that he would think of his spiritual master, offer it to his guru and to Krishna. So even though you may not, we, the neophyte, may not see, we judge by the externals of the Paramahamsas, but very dangerous because in their heart, that pastime of Daksha became offended because Shiva didn't offer obeisances to him. I'm his father-in-law. I'm his superior. Well, the purport is as soon as he comes in contact with anybody, he is offering respects to the heart of Daksha or anybody else. That's just that's what he is and what he does. So you know, the offering is taking place in the heart of the Paramahamsas, internally, if not externally. Both are both.
Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki